Perfect. Shoryuken!
All right, guys, we are back for another EXD podcast, episode 4. You have myself, host Hypnosis, and I got, as usual, Jimenez and Nugget with us all. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad at all, man. I'm actually super hype for what's to come. Obviously, we kind of seen a whole bunch of stuff going on with Street Fighter 6. We had the really, really cool trailer, which actually looked phenomenal. And what is y'all's initial thoughts on it? We can watch it here again, but what is first time seeing it? What did y'all think about it?
I'm personally excited for it. Yeah, I might have like a little artistic issues with it, but overall, like the gameplay looked really fun to play. Like I'm excited to try it out and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Nugget, what you up to? What you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's I think from what I've seen, it's just a lot of like what I was like, kind of like, thinking that maybe it would be like whatever that it is for, just the next game. I've just been waiting for something new, and I think the trailer just really was like you want something new, here it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
did you think that the art style was going to be the way it was?
I didn't think it was gonna be like I like the cartoony vibe from like Street Fighter, like
Yeah.
SF4, and then like SF3 was kind of like very like artistic like, and it just takes a piece from like each of the games,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of thrown it all together, and it's done it in such like a pleasant looking way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, what I'll say is looking at the trailer, my initial reaction was like super hype. I didn't think when I had opened the stream for the PlayStation State of Play or whatever, I didn't think they were going to play Street Fighter. But when they did, I was super hyped the entire time. And it sucks because my son was crying at the time. So I had to pick his little crazy ass up, hold him while I was watching the trailer, still getting cried at in my ear while I was watching all the visual stuff go on. So it was actually pretty, unfortunate for that moment because it kind of took away from my very, very first initial reaction to it. But nonetheless, I watched it over and over and over, and I liked every single bit of it. So let's kind of get into it and look and see, for those that haven't seen it, to check it out first with us.
When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending. Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. If you want to start off on the right foot in this city,
Luke looks good.
Yeah, definitely. It looks a lot better in this game for sure.
Hell yeah.
I like the coat. I think the coat's nice.
Yeah. I wonder who that guy's going to be.
Do you think that's JP, one of those linked characters?
I don't know. Chun-Li looks pretty good. Jamie looks fun. It seems like they're gonna have a 2v2, which is sick.
That would be interesting for sure.
A whole new aspect to the game online. Moves seem a little bit slower.
It might be because of the trailer, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely though. I do agree with that.
Yeah, you're like kind of given a lot, so you have to really, I think, use your brain a little more.
Ryu looks sick. Everybody looks sick. Woo.
Street Fighter 6.
Yes. Kimberly. I wonder what she's gonna play like. Man, I anytime I see that, I get so hyped, man. It looks so good. So based off of that, let's kind of take a look at the characters and see who y'all think. You know, I guess obviously gonna go down the line and seeing. Obviously, we got the top cast of very, 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 very familiar people. We got Ryu, Ken, Geef, Dawson, Honda, Blanca. Out of these two, or out of all of these characters that we do know, who do you think got the best looking upgrade of character design? I guess you could say.
Man, that's a good question. I like them all. I would have to, if I were to pick two, this is kind of cheating, but if I were to pick two, I'd give it to either Guile or Ryu.
Yeah. Nugget.
I think from like the whole like
Are just the way they look, their design.
I think first looking at it, I think I don't know, everyone's like they're like different, but they're like the same. I couldn't really put down who.
It's the same characters, just different look to them. I would say Guile out of all of those. Guile in the top row, at least in the very top row, Guile looks the best.
Like I think well, Rashid's style looks really
okay,
dope
so
too.
if we're talking about everybody, I would say probably Akuma or Guile still, honestly.
But yeah, I think I want to see what's up with Ken. Like I like the jacket. The jacket's really dope.
I think he's gonna have. If I could predict anything, I would say that his lore is gonna be, you know, something that's kind of maybe more tragic, more maybe done with. Obviously, like the big speculation is, his family is not together anymore. His wife left him, or whatever the case is. But I think definitely he's gone through some shit. It seems just from his appearance. But Jimenez, who do you? Okay, you picked Guile and Ryu.
Ryu, yeah. From the top
Nugget
row.
picked Rashid. That's you pick, right? Nugget is Rashid. You think Rashid looks cool?
Yeah, but from the top row, oh, dude, I wish Blanca had the suit like he does in Fortnite.
I feel that.
Like,
I think
that's
actually
what I was
Blanca looks
hoping for,
pretty.
so that's the only thing letting me down for like SF6 for now.
It looks
It'll be a DLC watch.
it looks like Blanca's repping a set or something. Honestly, with the bandana around him, he looks like he's about to get into some gang related activities. If you ask me, motherfucker looks like he's about to throw down for somebody. But yeah, for me, I gotta say, out of the top row, Guile, out of the whole cast, probably Akuma. He just looks freaking barbaric, man. He looks like he's ready to fucking slaughter the entire cast.
Yeah, I agree. Out of the whole thing, my favorites would be Guile, Ryu, Akuma, Jerry, and Cammy as well.
Now,
Yeah, I can't wait to see like how they, you know, like it's one thing to see them on their art style, but like another thing to see them play out.
yeah. Now we did see obviously in the trailer that Luke has a DDT. Now I don't know if y'all have seen, not in this trailer specifically, but there's been a video going around. It is from Capcom that he does the EX Fireball into a DDT. Have y'all seen that?
I did not see that. No.
Really? Okay, I need to find that. Because it is actually like, it looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can find it. Nope, not there. Damn. It looks pretty sick. I gotta try and find it. Luke DDT. Maybe that works. Yeah. Okay, here it is. I don't know if y'all are able to see that on the stream.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, so he's got his little DDT. Oh, it's on Twitter. Yeah, it's a pretty cool cool looking, what you call it. It's another facet to him that's just new, and makes him have a little bit more depth, because he wasn't, I think the quote unquote MMA fighter that he's supposed to be in Street Fighter Five, I don't think he embodied that almost at all. So to see him have something that is actually, kind of diving a little bit more into like a variety of things, that's a really good thing. But do y'all think any of the cast that we currently know of and play of, like Rashid and Yuri and Akuma, Ed, do you think anybody of those characters that are currently in Street Fighter Five are going to have anything additionally new that are going to look cool, or maybe add on to their thing? Like, I think Akuma's obviously going to have a demon flip. He's going to have fireballs. He's going to have his regular shit. Do you think anything is going to be new with Akuma? Same thing with like Ryu and Geef and Dawson, et cetera, et cetera.
I think for Ed, I definitely see them either like doing like a full, like still like the boxer thing, but way polished up.
You think so?
Because I don't know, like it's kind of like he sort of has that like in SF5, but I feel like every move is still psycho, blah 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 blah, and you're just like what?
So based off of the way Ed looks, he looks completely different than what he was presented at, obviously, in Street Fighter 5. He looks like Ken. He been through some shit, maybe got his shit rocked by whoever, and now he's trying to come up from the gutter, I guess you could say, so to speak, trying to reestablish himself, because to me that art style is different than what Ed looks like from Street Fighter 5. Akuma looks relatively the same realm. Ryu looks relatively the same type of thing. He just got a little Sagat bullshit on him. Honda, same thing. He looks like Honda actually worked out. He's actually trying now. Not just eating. He looks like he's trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so DJ, I've heard of him before. I've never really seen him or anything that he does. But out of all the players that are coming back into the Street Fighter, to be playable, out of this chick AKI or whatever the hell this is on the bottom right, very far right. This, I guess that's Kimberly right there, right beside her. The G looking dude with the cane, I guess JP is his name. I don't know. The Mexican little girl as well, and then this French girl. I don't even know who that is. Jamie, the I guess other one right beside Luke. I think I saw her name Marissa or something like that. Which one of these newer characters that are coming into the game do you think is more eye-catching? The most eye-catching, I guess you could say.
Probably I think maybe whoever the Italian one is, because she's just big. Like, I've never seen like somebody like that. I feel like every grappler is kind of like small, but they're always like doing whatever. Besides Geef, like Geef is big, and Abigail and stuff.
So like, I wish I could zoom in on this damn thing. It looks like she has a chain. It looks like she has some type of MMA gloves, but it also looks like she's a kickboxer. Or a boxer of some type, because those trunks and everything that she has looks like she's in the ring, obviously. So I'm wondering if she's going to be a grappler, if she's going to be like a kickboxer or a stand-up, boxer type deal.
I think with her height too, it's some kind of maybe Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Give me my Sagat in her. I do not care. Give her fireball. Give her DP. I'll be fucking happy. But I know obviously Jimenez is going to be happy, and you should be happy as well with Nugget having Ed and then having Chun-Li, both you guys. But me not having either of my mains at the current moment, I'm kind of like, well, let me focus on Akuma. I think that's the only option for me, or Ryu, because I currently trying to dabble with Ryu. Akuma I definitely dabble with, but I sucked with being mindful, so I die quick. But if that She-Got looking thing can fucking get me to what I need to with Sagat, she looks like a kickboxer type person or a Muay Thai, then I'm happy. I'll figure it out. Let's see. Moving along to the next topic. Let's see what we got. So I guess we already kind of talked about the trailer. The art style, the direction that they kind of went with the art of the game so far from what they've shown. What do y'all think? What's y'all's out of 10? You know, what do y'all give it, and what are y'all's thoughts on it?
I think I would give it like a like with all the paint and the splatter and the all that. I just like how flashy it is. Like
It's
I'd
really good.
give it an 8. I
An
think
8? Yeah.
because it still has way more time to improve too.
Mhm.
What's your thoughts on it? What would you give it out of a 10?
I'd probably give it an 8 as well. I'm actually excited to see like the more realistic style, right? Based off the trailer, like I said, I have some critiques about like the background art and stuff like that, but that could be due to because it's still in development, it's still unfinished. I'm pretty sure it'll be all polished up once the game's ready to release and stuff like that. But overall, at the moment, as we see it, I'd give it an 8 for sure.
I would probably give it a closer to 8.5, almost 9, because it's incorporating elements that are very visually pleasing in different aspects. You've got the very almost realistic style of graphic that they've got on top of the very artistic, Street Fighter-esque vibe as well. So and this is kind of what I had thought after seeing the first trailer of like the 30-second trailer back in February. I initially thought, okay, they should probably be incorporating the two of high graphic, visuals on top of the classic Street Fighter art style. But I think they actually knocked it out of the park. So far from what we've seen, I think they've done an excellent job. And that comes down to even the mechanics of the drive system, which is what they're calling it now. But overall, I'd probably give it about an 8.5, maybe even almost a 9. It just looks absolutely solid. So, predictions on the release date. Going to the next topic. What time frame do you think they're going to be releasing Street Fighter? We already know that it's coming out in 2023, so that's already set in stone with that. Nugget, what's your first idea when they think quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4?
I feel like it's gotta come out early.
Has to.
Like not super early, but like definitely like late February, March. I'm feeling like maybe
Quarter 1,
middle of March.
Yeah, quarter 1 for sure.
Something like that.
Jimenez, what you thinking?
I remember watching a Maximilian dude. He was talking about this exact same topic, and I can't remember what he said exactly about like a certain year they released like a certain Resident Evil remaster and then some other game like alongside that.
Yep, I saw that.
And he predicts that they're gonna try to do the same like early in the year as well with
February, March,
this
yeah.
game and Resident Evil 4. So I'm thinking the same thing, really, just early 2023 first quarter.
And you know what? Let's actually look, because we can look at the last Street Fighter release dates. I also believe it's going to be quarter 1. So let's do Street Fighter video games. The release dates. Did I put release dates? Yeah, I did. Street Fighter series release dates. Come on, show me the release dates. Nope, that's not it. Damn it! I wanted to look because I had seen like the last few had came out, or if not a good chunk of them had came out in first quarter of every single year they came out. I'm just trying to find if I can find them. Damn it! I should have had this pulled up and seen. No, it's not giving me a date. I want the date. Date. Damn. Oh well. Yeah. So I'm thinking as well. It's going to be the first quarter of the year. I just don't see, like, because I think the last CPT event that's not the finals is going to be in December, and I would imagine the final CPT of this season is going to be like in February, March. So I would imagine shortly after that is when they're going to do Street Fighter 6. It has to be, because like they wouldn't. I don't think Capcom would release Street Fighter 6 without closing out the last season of the CPT season for Street Fighter 5. I don't think that makes sense. So they might do like, I know the last event is December, I think early December of this year, And then I would imagine CPT, like the final event where they're gonna have people, fly into to an event, offline event, would probably be February or early March, and then probably late March is when they would release Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, because 5 came out in February.
Yeah,
but like that was also like I'm saying like March or something a little bit after too, like just in case if they had to kind of like delay something.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe if they'd have to. It looks like they're pretty far in on development now, but there's still a bunch that can still be done. Like they have whole like another half of this year to do whatever.
Y'all think any betas will come out in this year?
I think there's a chance. There's a high likelihood.
Yeah.
It also, those betas give them really good info, like game developers really good
100%.
info about who's going to be playing what, how something works, all this other stuff,
any
and just
glitches
kind
or
of
bugs. Yeah.
and it helps out like so well. Like I think they might be down for that, especially the screenshots and stuff that I've seen of the Twitter stuff. Like
it looks already
like
it looks. My biggest concern would be with the little My Fighter 2K type of open world shit. I'm hoping that doesn't have any bugs or glitches or anything like that, because I'm not sure if they've done anything like this in the past, but this is like a completely new step in a new direction if they haven't ever done anything like this. So usually when things like that come about and something is brand new implemented into a game, it usually has a lot of stuff that needs to be ironed out. But I'm hopeful that they will have it right on this first go run. Obviously, I think one of our biggest concerns would be netcode. I think that's a huge thing that they should have right out of the gate, not a year or so after. They need to have that stuff immediately. If it's not a focal point, I think that's going to hurt a lot of the people trying to go to the game. People will still buy it, but they might not be as active because of that. So,
yeah. First impressions really matter a lot.
100%.
Take a look at Street Fighter 5 when it first released, right? Like everybody was dogging on that, and it took them a while to finally fix the game, and it's still not completely fixed, right? There's still netcode issues and stuff like that, but at least it was able to grow more of its player base later on. But can you imagine how much more it could have had if it was perfect on release?
100%. And I was talking with this about somebody recently, actually, that if Street Fighter 6 gets the netcode good out the gate and you could play across the world against anybody without having too many frames drop, you could ideally have online tournaments from CPT with everybody entering, or maybe even regionals entering. Let's say if it is not to 100%, let's say you can have North America, Central America, South America, maybe play all at once. Or maybe all of North America, or maybe all of South America be separate. And you can have all of these regions play throughout the first, 3-4 months of the span of the game's life. And then once each definitive top winner or top, 4 or top 2 players are, crowned their positionings, they can have 1 or 2 offline events that are booked, pretty much through Capcom, and having them go to an event offline. So online you have, how pretty much you have to have East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, stuff like that. In a sense, you would replace that all for one event or 2 events where everybody's included. So West Coast can play against East Coast without any network connection issues. And you could have that on a multiple, type of year thing, I guess you could say. Because they do have definitive winners of East Coast, Midwest, West Coast. So instead of that, you would have 3 events, including everybody trying to fight for the top spots. And then that'd be really great. Just being able to connect with like all kinds of people, without having to worry about any just extra stuff. Because that's obviously huge issue at the moment, unfortunately. But if that would do justice to it, we could have, I think, a lot more involvement from everybody. So, that's one of the more obvious things that would happen if the netcode was there. But when do you guys think we're going to see any more news, for Street Fighter? We just got dropped with a fucking bomb of everything that came out. We had seen, I don't know if y'all have seen it, the Kin Street Fighter 6 kind of loadout thing. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
I'll play it again for those that haven't seen. I'm trying to see, and there's also a Cammy one. But let's see. Screen.
Yeah, I like the what is it, that character screen? It's kind of interesting. It feels really newish.
This is the Cammy
Hey.
one. Boom. So that's kind of, I don't know if y'all have seen that one before, but that one's one that has been passed around. There's another one with the, okay, here's the loading screen of Ken. Supposedly came from somewhere. It looks pretty sick. Let me open up the screen fully to show it. Have y'all seen this loading screen?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty cool.
Mhm.
And just it has high visuals, you know, that's what I yearn for. I love graphics. I think Mortal Kombat 11 did a great job with their graphics. So to see that in Street Fighter, to me, with the art style that Street Fighter has as well, with all the flash and flare, that is sick. That's like amazing. So I'm really excited for it. But when y'all think we'll see the next bit of news regarding Street Fighter 6 or character reveals, you know, trailers, or maybe they're gonna do the fully unveil of the full roster out the gate from release? Because Capcom already made an announcement. We already see that there's, you know, stuff being passed around and leaked, you know, blah blah blah, etc. etc. But do y'all think they'll have any more news coming by Evo time or later in the year, or when do you think the next bunch of news from Capcom officially is going to come out?
I think for sure would be Evo, and I think at the most would probably be like a couple characters get revealed from the roster. Like we'll get to see gameplay from them or something like that.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick. Nugget, what's your timeline on when they're going to release more news?
I feel like well, this was a really good drop, I think, for the summertime. If they were to throw something again, it'd probably be like August or September, you know, little tidbits of stuff, you know, like some breadcrumbs to keep us like leading up to something really big again, you know?
Yep.
I really like the way they're like kind of marketing stuff and really just, you know, being open about what's going on.
Yeah.
And I was also just surprised that it even came through for the state of play. Like,
Yeah, I was shocked.
I just saw a lot of people, you know, just start up the stream like, oh yeah, maybe Street Fighter, and then everyone's like, no way, why would they do that? Like they said it was gonna be blah blah blah, and then boom, you're like, what?
We got hit. Yeah, we got hit with it. No,
And they're like, oh, mechanics, the website, the video, you're seeing all this extra stuff, and you're like, whoa.
Yep.
Capcom, chill.
we got hit with a decent amount of stuff, and even stuff that wasn't even like Capcom official, but still stuff that looks pretty reasonable considering you know, of the everything that we're seeing. But you know, the characters that we saw is a leak. I mean, I would imagine this has to be the cast that is going to come out. It's just, I don't know why it would be any different, because Ryu looks like Ryu, you know, Chun-Li looks like Chun-Li, Luke like Luke, and Jamie looks like Jamie. So I would imagine every other single character is 100% going to be that. But on the chance that it's not, that, you know, maybe somebody made up these other characters, and, you know, maybe one or two characters got made up. I wonder what characters could kind of come out of left field and shock everybody. If you could want anybody to shock the Street Fighter community and come out and have them be a character, who would y'all like to see come into the game out of the gate or within the first DLC release?
That's hard. That's
Can it be anybody?
Anybody you think. It doesn't matter if it's from Street Fighter, from another game, whatever you think.
This is probably a reach, but I'd like to see like someone like Terry Bogard from King of Fighters.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think he would look good.
Yeah, I feel like I think there's a good chance that one of the DLCs, whatever DLC 12 or some whatever they call it,
Uh-huh.
there's got to be some kind of crossover. I already sense it.
Well, we did have
I
one
could
with Akira, obviously, coming in.
Mhm.
Do you think they will implement? They gotta implement more of the crossover. Like now, that could even be like Marvel characters. Could you see any Marvel characters coming into Street Fighter 6?
I think I could see a character, but then I also I'm like, man, that feels really far from possible. I don't know. Just with all licensing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
With like, yeah, just Disney, Marvel, all that extra stuff.
Yeah, no, you're very true. Things have definitely gotten more.
But
strict.
I think I feel like for these whatever DLCs that they drop, I think they're gonna drop like people in like like packs of 2. You know what I'm saying?
You think so? Okay.
Because like how they just kind of showed off like in the trailer, like you got Jamie and Luke, like these 2 guys, like it's making it look like they're rivals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Chun and Ryu, they've always been like a pair that you've seen like wherever.
Yeah.
So like maybe one of the DLCs is Hugo and Poison, right?
Yep.
Or they throw in some other whatever thing. I could just see there's stuff going in like that. Packs of 2.
That's a pretty good. I didn't even think about that, but it's a really good idea to have characters released at the same time as a pair. That's a good idea. I think if I could predict somebody from in the first DLC pack, if I could make a prediction, I would say it has to either be along the lines of Balrog or Vega being included in there, because they have a fairly bigger fan base than I would say. They've been associated with the game for a very long time. So I would imagine one of those 2 might be in the first DLC, that gets announced. They might not come all out with it at the same time, but I think if they were going to be releasing 5 or 6 characters in the first DLC, I think either Balrog or Vega is going to be in the first DLC pack.
Yeah, that would be really dope. I don't have any issue with that. I mean, well, I do have. I mean, Rog was a DLC for 5, which was whack. I was like, what? Like, I just saw you in 4. Coming from 4 to 5, and
Or
I'm
Dudley.
like, dude, you're not in the main thing. If I saw Dudley, that'd be sick.
That's another.
I don't
person.
know. So I don't know if they'll throw him for 6. So it would be awesome if they did.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a lot of like other characters I feel like got left out of like what you thought that they would be in 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people, they want Makoto.
Sean,
Mhm.
I heard Sean.
And Sean. Yeah. Sean would be really cool.
Jimenez, if you had to put money, who you saying might come in the first DLC?
Oh, first DLC, I put like something as a stretch, right? But I said Terry Bogard.
Oh, Terry.
If I were to be
yeah.
realistic about it, though, first DLC, shit, that's a tough one. I'm just trying to like go through everybody in my head right now on Street Fighter 5.
It's Street Fighter in general. It could be
Yeah.
past time.
Who knows? Maybe Karen.
Okay.
Karen
Yeah.
and Mika.
Yeah, Mika, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna go with Balrog or Vega. You're gonna go with Karen or Mika. Nugget's gonna go with who?
Maybe Hugo. Hugo would be a
Hugo?
dope
Okay.
DLC, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a few people that definitely like him for sure. He kind of generates a buzz. I people had thought El Fuerte was gonna be in Street Fighter 6. People were thinking he might be in. I've never really had any familiarity with him because I never played Street Fighter 4. But is he similar to like the grappler style, right?
He was like he did a lot of crazy stuff. He was a crazy character. I think he'd probably show up as a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he'd show up solo. Like if anyone would want him back that bad. Oh, it would be dope. Fei Long.
Fei Long.
Oh,
Fei
you're
Long
right.
was
Yeah.
a DLC one.
Yeah.
And they did
That'd be
mention
really awesome.
the supposed family of Bruce Lee did mention that they did not announce to Capcom or anybody that they couldn't use that character.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody had mentioned, I think it was like the art, or no, I'm sorry, the music composer or something like that of Street Fighter or something had mentioned,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're not going to. The family said they didn't want to, and the family came out and said they didn't say that.
I just saw the fan made Fei Long trailer that they did for Mysterious Mod. Have you guys seen it?
I have
I have
not.
not no.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I'll put the link in here. But like that's what got me thinking, because I was like, you know what, like the Bruce Lee vibe is always dope.
Yeah, Bruce Lee is pretty cool. I'll wait for the link so we can kind of check it out. Okay, here it goes. Cool.
There is no way you could ever knock me out.
Oh wow. How the hell do people make mods like that?
People got some patience, bro. And some
It
fucking
must.
artistic style.
Yeah, really.
I like that it would like make sense for 5, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Come on, what's wrong? Not done yet.
damn. Law of Dragon.
Don't underestimate me.
No, not against the god. Shit. V-Trigger 2 looks sick. Oh. Oh, that's sick.
That 1-inch punch was sick as fuck.
That's cool, man. That's so cool. Man, what a trip. Imagine like if people could do that shit for Street Fighter 6, but like Street Fighter 6 would support it. That would be fucking dope. Alrighty, so let's check out some of the mechanics of the game. Let's go to concept, I think it is. No, it's okay, yeah, fighting ground. Cool. The drive system. So a lot of new things kind of came that are going to be coming with the game include a drive system, which is now a meter that's automatically given at the round start. What is y'all's thoughts on something that is automatically given and automatically replenished? How do y'all feel about that?
You know, I remember, you know, before we started the podcast, you mentioned that you didn't like the idea of that.
I don't.
I did want to ask you, how did you feel about it in Mortal Kombat 11?
So having something out the gate from the start, it allows for more people to kind of have a little bit less mindfulness to neutral, because you're not building anything to get it. You're not playing good to get the gauge. You already have it already. So a move that's let's say safe on block when it's EX'd or whatever, you're already taking chip damage and you're already staying safe and putting your opponent, if you're plus on block, in a situation that's not obviously ideal. So for me, getting something that's automatic and automatically replenishes, from my experience in Mortal Kombat 11, a lot of the people did not like it. A lot of the players in the community did not like the meter system. And I agree. I think the meter system, how you build it by, getting damage off of your opponent, I think that's the best way to get it. Or if you're getting hit and getting damaged, cool. That works too, because you're building V meter, V gauge or whatever. So that's fine. But having something automatic and fully there from the start, I think that's a bad way to go about it. Nugget, what are your thoughts?
I think it'll have to be. I don't know, because I mean, I sometimes, I wish that I'd have stuff from the start. They wouldn't, like, if I'm playing G, right, like if I could be like level 3, like, right at the beginning.
That's cheap. That's cheap.
A lot of the stuff is, the whole game changes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But all these characters, I feel like, we'll just have to see how they're really like balanced together, and how they're all sharing the similar mechanic, but they might be able to get through with it differently. So we've also yet to see like what happens when you get to that burnout state, when you use all that gauge for stuff. And I think it's weird. The one part that was weird about it was how like that the drive gauge is also your EX move or whatever. And I was like, I don't know about that. Like, so your super is just like on the bottom or something, some extra thing.
Yeah.
And like maybe you build up the super from stuff, right?
Yeah. So,
but your drive is already there, and that's for, the dash cancel. You get it back through the parry, and that's like, are you getting it back from a perfect parry or from the regular ones too?
Yeah, maybe it's more.
Also,
yeah,
I don't know.
Definitely want to talk more about what you had mentioned, because I think there's a cool couple topics, but I definitely want to get Jimenez's ideas and thoughts on the fact of starting with meter and that it automatically replenishes.
Yeah, I kind of had the same, how do I say, gripes that you had with MK11.
Yeah.
Right? But personally, like, looking back, kind of like, if we look at a simpler system with the V system in Street Fighter V, I like how it's kind of balanced that way, and I feel like this drive gauge, at least looking at it from, this perspective, I feel like it'll be balanced in such a way because it kind of, operates both your offensive and defensive mechanics, right?
That's true.
So you need to, even though you start off in neutral with full meter, it's like, how are you going to use that meter, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to use it for defense? Did you just lose neutral? Am I going to have to use it for defense somehow? Or am I on the offense? Am I going to just spend it on, like, EX moves and stuff like that, right? But then if I then lose the next interaction, let's say I guessed wrong or something, right? Then I have no meter to be defensive with, right? Because I just used it with all these EX moves. So if they do it correctly, I think this system might end up working out. But we'll see. We'll see when time, comes.
So going into the topic of those, this is let's kind of jump into like the mechanics, the actual in-depth system with that, which is the first one they bring up is drive impact, which is the person on defense absorbing the incoming attack of the opponent and allowing for it to get a little bit of damage, as well as this says perform this on an opponent backed into the corner to induce a wall splat, even if they block the attack. Oh wow, okay. So even if they're blocking, they can get wall splat with that, which is kind of a new element. And again, to me, if you're getting something that's automatically replenished, I'm not sure how long it is. It could be 30 seconds. It could be 5 seconds. Who knows? But if you're playing really good neutral and your opponent is trying to get out of the corner, but you have this drive impact which can keep them in the corner, imagine how much more frustrating that would be, specifically because it automatically replenishes. Now, you could say that for the person that's against the wall, they can get their stuff replenished as well. But I think giving something when it's automatic versus when it's like needed or earned or deserved, where it's earned whenever you're attacking somebody and you're earning, let's say, EX meter now, in Street Fighter 5. And then when you're getting hit, you're getting V gauge meters, so that works out as well. You can use it a V shift, V reversal, whatever, or V trigger. But having something to where a person is getting it replenished automatically if they're on offense, I think that could be something that would hurt. Like I said, depending on how long it takes, that might be something that could be like, ooh, that's kind of fucked up. They can keep a person essentially, if they manage their meter right, a decent chunk of the round.
Yeah.
So
I definitely do have a concern with this particular mechanic, the drive impact. Right? It's like, let's say the wall splat does happen while they're blocking, right?
Yeah.
Like, how will it affect the other person? Are they actually punishable? Like, does the person on offense get a full punish even though they block the drive impact? Or is it a situation where it's like, oh, it's just safe, they can still block but they have to guess on the next mix-up, right? It's still annoying either way, but I'd hate to see this mechanic be as powerful as being able to open up someone's guard for you to get a punish afterwards. That'd be a little broken.
I would just imagine fucking Abigail's fucking guard break or guard armor break EX run bullshit. Imagine that. And then imagine that shit gets replenished automatically. Like, that sounds like a fucking nightmare if you ask me. Nugget, what's your idea? What's your idea on this, Nugget?
All right, well, I think
it absorbs the incoming attack, and then also does a wall splat, which I would imagine like a crumble effect, kind of like how Kage's EX Hadouken, it crumbles you.
Yeah, I wonder how much like the thing that worried me, I think, when I saw the drive impact was like in those moments where it sort of looked like it could take 2 hits. I don't like that that's something else. That's like you like if you're trying to hit them and then you hit them again and then you go through and you're like, man, what?
Abigail's EX bullshit, man, I'm telling you. And then if it automatically replenishes, that could be a fucking issue.
Yeah, it would be an issue like that, but I also want to know if the drive impact can also be parried,
if the person has meter, yeah, I would imagine so.
And also like if you'll lose, what is it? You only lose a gauge, right, for the drive impact?
It is spent with let's see how much of it says.
Yeah, it's 1 cost.
Okay, yeah, 1 cost. It's right here. That's where it is. I couldn't see it because of all the awesomeness behind it, but
yeah, I wonder how once you use it, like how you were saying, Hypno, like how fast does the replenish happen, and also like what I wonder. It could be oppressive, like on paper.
Yep.
But also with whatever, if the other person just has a full bar of their own, they could, I think they could just drive impact like back at the same time.
Right.
Because I could imagine, like, okay, let's say the person that's on defense has 30% of his life left, and let's say the person on offense has however much of his life, but he's got all of his gauge because it automatically replenished throughout the entire time of getting the opponent back down to 30% life left, and he's got his full gauge, and he's using impact to absorb the defender's trying to get out of the corner. He absorbs it with the impact, and then he gets the wall splat because he's already got him in the corner. And I would imagine it's like a crumple state because it looks like that's what it is whenever they showed it. That's probably going to be another full combo after that. Secondly, he's still got however many bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's still got 5 bars after that to do an EX move. So, okay, take away 2. So you got 3 bars left. And let's say the opponent wakes up with, let's say, an EX DP or whatever it is. He can use the impact or the focus. Let's go to the next one. The drive parry. That's fine. A drive parry, which costs half of a fucking meter. And he uses again to parry him for another one. Like, that's oppressive in my opinion. It seems like they're trying to even out and balance offense and defense, but I think it's gonna be more offense heavy in my opinion so far from what it's looking like the mechanics are.
Yeah, I think. I wonder how how much recovery or startup that drive thing has. And also just there's gonna be a ton of rock paper scissors with these mechanics, I think.
Yeah.
Like in match.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna be guessing that something's gonna happen, and then here's another thing that happens, and yeah. But that's where I think they'll probably show off how that whole what's it called, the after using up all your stuff and you're in that whatever state that you're in. I think they said if you use all your drive stuff, you're in a burnout state. I wonder how bad are you affected then, dude?
I would imagine, if I could make a prediction, and I'd like to hear y'all's own thoughts on it as well. If we could make a prediction, I would say not only, I think there's multiple. I think you're gonna have less damage output, but I think your character is also gonna physically move slower, whether if it's walking or buttons that come out. I think you're gonna have I would imagine a couple different states, and maybe not from the game's release, but maybe down the line. Kind of how Street Fighter got updated so much to where you got V-Shift, and on top of now, after this definitive update, got more stuff included for characters like Alex and Ken and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's gonna, at some point in the game's life, have multiple factors of a character burning out with movement on top of damage or speed of the buttons coming out. What is y'all thoughts on that? Of the burnout state?
Yeah, I think it's got to be something that's it's got to be something that you got to be that'll make you feel vulnerable and are weak to everything. Maybe when I think of burnout, I think about when Nago uses his whole blood
meter,
and you're just geez, dude, your health's going down. Yeah, for 5 minutes you're sitting there can't do anything.
Jimenez, what do you think is gonna happen with the burnout state?
Personally, when I think of burnout, like Nugget said, that's what I first thought of. It's just Nago's blood meter, right? When he doesn't manage it properly, right? Personally, I would hate to see that. I would hate to see that universally throughout the cast, where they just enter this vulnerable state. Or remember when Shang Tsung used to take someone's soul and used to play as that character?
Yeah.
And when the timer expired, he was in a vulnerable state. I would hate to see that personally, right? I would kind of lean towards your idea, Hypnosis. That's what I would like to see personally. Yeah. Just do something I guess, I don't know, less damage, etc. Stuff like that. That's what I would personally see, because at least you can still play the game, right? You're not just stuck somewhere for who knows however many frames, right? And then you get full combo punish because of it.
Yeah, because imagine, let's say you burn out. Let's say for 3 seconds or even 5 seconds, your abilities are hindered, where your movement is super fucking sluggish, like if you're trying to walk through mud or some shit. Imagine that when you're already down and you're trying your best to get out of there. So yeah, that's to me what I think would happen with the burnout state. And then moving on to overdrive, cost 2. It's like EXing, your moves. So that's not too bad. That's already typical there. But two gauge is what it is going to cost, which I think if they would have done 1 or 1.5, that might have been better. Because I know a lot of characters. Well, I guess maybe if it automatically replenishes, you have it off the start. I guess it's not the worst because you have 6 gauges. Yeah. But I wonder, another thing now, talking about it, I wonder if different characters will have different gauges. You know how in, I forget what game it is, almost any, NBA 2K. Let's look at that for example, my creator, my pro, whatever. You can create a character, point guard, center, anything in between. And the more that you put your skills to one side of handling or shooting or defending or playmaking, you lose attributes and other. I wonder if the V gauge is going to be universal 6 gauges for the entire cast, or I wonder if there's going to be different factors to characters getting more gauge back quicker or having less starting out, or the entire match. I wonder if there's going to be gauge differences between characters. Do y'all think everybody's going to have 6, or do you think there's going to be any differences between them?
I think if they're Or yeah, you can go ahead, Jimenez.
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say I personally think it's gonna be a universal 6 out of everybody. I think that's just the way to balance it personally.
Because, for my opinion, the way it looks, at least with Luke, Luke can get back that shit pretty quick in V Trigger 1, I think it is. If he's not doing anything, he gets it back. And nobody else does that. The only people that have it similar is Alex, if I'm not mistaken, with his one where he parries. And then Nikali has one that lasts the entire rest of the match for that round, if I'm not mistaken. Outside of that, I don't think there's anybody else that either gains or stays the same with V-Trigger. I can't think of anybody that does that, honestly. Everybody else is depletes sometimes sooner or faster, which, again, because there's variations like that, like Chun-Li, perfect example, right? She's got one that fastly depletes, similar to Rose's. I'm not sure if it's V-Trigger 1 or V-Trigger 2 with her shadow clone type thing. Same thing. Yeah. That depletes a lot quicker than, say, Kage's or Sagat's or, other members of the cast. That's what I'm saying. I think there might be variances in the drive gauge just simply based on what we've experienced in Street Fighter 5. I think they're going to kind of more develop a bit more around that, if I could be honest. I think they're going to do a little bit more deep diving into meter management and how much quicker or slower gauge costs is replenished through different characters.
I think maybe like when I think about it, I feel like it would be what is it? I think it would still be universal, but there might be characters who could either add or take away a gauge from either themselves, or add a gauge or take it from someone else or something like that.
That's a cool idea, yeah.
Like that way they would it would be, like maybe let's say this character has like an ability that or a special that they do, and then it takes away one of their gauges, but now they can move faster in the match or something.
Exactly.
Or they can do maybe more damage or something, or maybe they get an additional gauge if they do some kind of special blah 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 or whatever.
I would think, like, if you saying that now, what I envision off the bat is Nash's V skill 1, where he does like the hand out and it like absorbs fireballs. Imagine if fucking Nash was in the game absorbing people's fucking V gauge or drive gauge. I'm sorry. That would be fucking shitty.
I wonder with like also the whole like the reintroduction of the multiple supers, right? So maybe people will have like utility stuff that could do things like that as well.
Yep, that's a good one. I guess drive rush. Perform a quick rush forward from a drive parry. Okay, so this is it from a parry that you can do this? Perform a quick rush forward from a drive parry or a cancelable normal attack. Okay, so you can do it with a normal into drive rush as well. So it's pretty much like a dash after you do a normal. So that's going to look pretty cool. Drive rush from a parry cost 1 drive stock, while drive rush from a normal attack costs 3 drive stocks. So imagine that you do, let's say, a heavy kick, heavy punch. Let's say crush counters. Let's say, I'm not sure if they're going to have that mechanic in the game of crush counters, but let's say it's plus enough where you hit that you can do the drive rush, cancel into a EX move. That's already 5 meters gone.
Yeah,
you're about to be in the burnout stage, but who's to say that shit's not gonna take 40% of your life or 45% of your life?
Yeah, I wonder how they'll scale moves like that, like especially after a crumple from like the impact, or like like how will the drive rush like you're parrying something like a fireball, and then you dash in just to get hit again.
Yeah.
I wonder how those situations will like kind of run through. Like I can already see the from extending the combo, but then you're gonna be like, man, I'm 3 bars down from that. Like, golly.
Really? Yeah. That's definitely where meter management comes into play, 100%. And obviously we got drive reversal, but You know, what are y'all's thoughts on the mechanics of everything that's coming out? Not only the artistic style of it, but the usefulness of each. You know, you got a parry, you got a dash cancel, you got a V reversal, pretty much. You've got a what's the other one? The armor move, the drive impact. What are y'all thoughts on the new mechanics that they've shown thus far? Better or worse?
It's hard to say because of course the game's not out yet. Like I mentioned previously, like I understand your concerns. Like I have the same concerns too with the meter building up.
Automatically,
yeah. Right? But thinking about it, and until we see it in action, right? I feel like the fact that there's both offensive and defensive options that we can do, right? That will cost at different, different drive meters, etc.
Yeah, gauge.
I feel like that's like a good way of balancing out the thing coming back automatically, right?
Sure.
Because you're not gonna have access to I mean, you will at the round start, but once you do, like, let's say a drive rush, that's already half your bar, right? So you're only limited to like a couple more things after that before you have to let it replenish somehow. So I think it's gonna create this kind of like in-depth resource management type deal while you have to do manage everything inside the game as well. So
yep.
I have my concerns, but at the same time I'm also excited to try it out and see how it actually plays out.
Yeah, I'm wondering the how fast the it's going to replenish. That's one big concern. How quickly is it going to? Because in Mortal Kombat 11, you could literally press block in a corner or wherever and block until you get a fucking meter back to do EX whatever. Honestly, that's something that I'm not a fan of. I prefer earning your meter to be able to have something that maybe your opponent doesn't have. But because the resource is both offensive and defensive, that makes it pretty hard, to really, say, because let's say the person that's getting the offense against their opponent, they're building the exact same meter that the defensive player is getting. So it makes it kind of hard to really gauge at the moment. But I'm not a fan of automatic replenishing of meters. I think that's a little just. I don't think they should, but hey, we'll see how it goes. Nugget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
overall of the the mechanic system, the drive system.
Yeah, they it's just it's like Jimenez is saying, like you'd have to really see it. Like for me, the big thing that I want to see is the burnout, right? I want to see how bad you're gonna have it if you use up everything that you've got.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of worried about the parry. Like, I wonder how strong the parry is going to be. Like, and the way that you'll be able to, like, I'm assuming there's going to be, like, parrying the drive reversal, parrying someone's, like, everything. And you're getting meter back and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think, at, like, third strike, just the whole thing was parries, and the game's really, like, slowed down, and you'd have like stuff going on kind of all the time. Just like I like that there's gonna be that mind game kind of feel to it, but also just how flashy everything's gonna look.
It's gonna look sick. In my opinion, I think the game's gonna look outstanding. I think the only game that's really gonna come up to it, from my opinion, besides supers, because supers in any game, Dragon Ball Fighters or Strive or King of Fighters, anything like that, I think let's take that out of the equation, because I think all of those can look cool in their own right. But from playing head to head at the time with the visuals going on at the same time, I think this game is going to look as good as, if not maybe even a little bit better than Project L, because at least from what we saw last time, Project L looks pretty fucking cool in the state of the game that it's in right now. And that's not to say that it's going to stay that way. But from what we've seen, the visuals in that game, the artistic style looks really cool. But I think Street Fighter 6 is looking really good, considering it's kind of gauged or geared toward newer consoles as well as PCs. They're gonna have old consoles for PS4 at least for Street Fighter. I'm not sure what all consoles are gonna be on for Project L, but I would imagine probably gonna be next gen, PC, and maybe Xbox One, maybe PS4. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. Well, that kind of, you have anything else that y'all would love to kind of put out there, or any other ideas, any other final thoughts before we call it an episode? I know one, but I'll wait for y'all.
I'm all good.
Yeah, I'm good here.
Give me fucking Kage and Sagat, please. I need help. I need help. I need my guys. I need one of those, please. Or make that Italian chick be my Shagat. I don't care. I need something, but okay. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for the podcast. I appreciate the people that kind of tune in on Twitch, and those of you that are going to be checking us out on the YouTube page. Thank you so much for your love and support. We'll come back next week with another podcast as usual, and hopefully maybe we'll have something to update about Street Fighter 6. But until then, you all have a great evening. Thank you, Jimenez and Nugget, for showing up as usual. I appreciate you guys as well.
Thanks for having us, dude.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Much love. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Tiger uppercut!